right, so like what is the essence of tennis tactics? Like what is the essence of tennis? What is the game all about? What are the most fundamental tactics and strategies for tennis? Real simple ones. So somebody back in the day, centuries ago, decided this would be a cool game. We have put this net up, and we set up some lines, and then you have like a ball. In the old days, it wasn't a rubber ball. It didn't have a rubber tennis ball. It was like jeu de paume. It was a French game. But we have some sort of like ball that you want to send back and forth. What's that called when you send the ball back and forth?
Rally.
It's a rally. So, and the idea is to put the ball inside the lines. So is tennis more a game of power or control?
Control.
I would say, yeah, the essence of tennis.
You need to control your power.
All right, stop interrupting me. Yes, I agree with you. You need control because the game is about getting it over this obstacle and in a square or rectangle. There were actually kind of the history of tennis, the lines actually, there were different forms. I don't know if you knew that, but back in the day they experimented with different types of line diagrams, like there were like triangles and like different shapes, you know, they were kind of cool. But we ended up with this rectangle. So you got to put the ball in the rectangle, and I like what you were saying, you have to kind of like control your power. The goal is to hit it as hard as you can, but inside the lines. But not like a game like baseball where somebody decided that there'd be like a fence, and if you hit it really hard, you get like points for that. You know, so you don't really, in tennis, you don't get points for hitting it exceedingly powerful, because then if you hit it out, you lose the point. So in it, fundamentally, tennis is a game where you got to control the ball, and that's why I think the number one tactic is consistency. You want to be steady. And in Spain, they use the word solid, like to be really solid.
Like what do you mean solid? Like
Solid means steady. Solid means consistent. So for any of you guys, we have different levels of players here. Some of you younger guys are starting out. We have some older varsity players, you know, high school level. But the essence of tennis, whether you're 8 years old or 10 years old or 15 or 16 years old, or you're a pro on the tour, is not making a lot of errors. It's being really, really consistent. And if you can embrace that, you'll be a really good player. Like you'll be solid, and you'll beat a lot of people. So it's learning to be consistent and not making a lot of errors. That's to me like the essence of tennis. This control game where you have this bet, you have this net, this barrier, and then you have to put the ball over that barrier and get it inside the lines, more than the other guy. If the other guy or other girl, whoever you're playing, if they make it over more than you, they win. If you make it over more than them, you win. Essentially. So that's what tennis is all about. What were we talking about, Ian? What do most people see tennis as? Most kids that I see, they see tennis as like, I need to hit this ball for a winner. I need to hit this ball a screaming fast shot past the other player.
Most people say
Kind of like you see on TV. You see a lot of players on TV play like that. But that is part of tennis. Like that's a strategy. Using power is definitely a strategy. But that's not to me like the essence of tennis. Like especially at your guys' level. Even at your level, you know, high school tennis. I mean, what else? What are some other like a couple other essential strategies? Because I want in the afternoon when we play, I want you guys to work on like, just kind of keep these ideas in your mind. I think hitting a topspin high ball is a very good strategy. When I first studied in Spain, that's one of the strategies you see in Spain a lot. You see high balls. But when you hit high balls in America, in the US, usually
they're moon balls.
Usually people kind of make fun of that. They're like, oh, that's a moon ball, or that's not a legit shot. But I'm here to tell you that hitting high balls, if I'm playing you, if I can bounce the ball over your shoulders, it's a very, very good strategy. It's a very simple strategy. It's a very effective strategy. Why is it effective?
Because then it'll keep them like in the overhead and they'll not be very strong.
You have a lot of good answers today.
I learned that from
No, because it'll be farther back and then you can hit a drop shot.
It creates a lot of tactical challenges for your opponent. The opponent could step in and try to take a difficult ball in the rise, or your opponent could go way back, get pushed out of position, and have to play a really deep ball. Either way, it's sort of to your advantage. So it puts your opponent in a very difficult place. So hitting high balls, not necessarily moon balls that are like really, really high, but high topspin balls that are heavy, like good heavy balls, is a really good tactic. And the reason why it's doubly effective is when you hit high, heavy topspin, you also clear what? You're being consistent. It's going to be more consistent, and it's also going to be very, very effective. Put your opponent in kind of a checkmate situation, as opposed to trying to hit slam winners, like flat winners, straight winners, which by necessity involve the net. When you try to hit really hard and straight, it's more risky. You'll hit more net. What's another really good fundamental strategy? Do you remember, Ian?
Angles.
Right, so I would say in addition to hitting high balls, angles. So angles work one of the essential principles of making your opponent run. So in tennis, you want to make your opponent run more than you. That's like a really good fundamental strategy. Are you able to make your opponent run more than you? You don't want to take as many steps as your opponent. So angles serve that purpose. Hitting the ball to where your opponent is not. Not hitting straight up the middle, but trying to think about using angles. So these are like very fundamental, like building blocks of strategy, of tactics. You have number one. What's the first one? Be consistent. Be patient. Be consistent. That's like the golden rule of tennis. Depending on your level, I would say try to rally 4, 5, or 6 shots. I'm going to be looking for that today. 4, 5, or 6 shots. That's off your racket, not combined with your opponent. You serve or return, and now you get into the point, and you're looking for 4, 5, or 6 shots. There are exceptions to that rule. Like if you hit a big serve and you have that first shot, that +1, and you want to attack, sometimes you do take the initiative in those situations. Same with return. But in general, once you're in the rally, can you sink your teeth into the point and go 4, 5, or 6 shot rallies? That's what I want to see in terms of tactics. And what's the second rule that I meant? Second sort of building block.
Heavy balls.
High balls, because high balls serve a dual purpose. They're consistent, so you have no risk of hitting the net, but they also pose tremendous challenge for your opponent. Your opponent either has to go way back, or your opponent has to take a difficult on the rise. And so the high, especially with topspin, not a high flat ball, high with got a lot of topspin, is a really good strategy. And the third one,
Angle.
using angle. So the angle means you hit the ball off the sideline. The ball goes across the single sideline. It doesn't go through the back. That's more parallel. And you're actually trying to hit the ball off to the side to make your opponent run. So if you think about your tennis strategy, how you're building your game style, are you locked in? It's like, okay, number one, like if you're playing points, number one, I need to be consistent. I need to make not many unforced errors. I need to be solid. That includes serving and returning, not missing the serves and returns, which we can also sort of talk about. But number two, let me play some high balls. Don't be embarrassed about that. A lot of American kids that I coach, they're embarrassed to hit high ball. They don't want to be called a pusher. They don't want to be called a moon baller, But don't accept that. High balls are a totally legitimate strategy. I'm not saying like just moon, like high ball, no pay. I'm saying heavy spin. Heavy spin balls are a really good strategy. Really good strategy.
Why for top spin?
Top spin. And the third is always look to create angles. You create angles, and that makes your opponent run more than you. So you get to dictate, and you can also tire your opponent out that way. So I would say those 3 strategies are like at the top of the list, and you probably go down the list, and you probably make a list of 20 strategies.